When stir-frying bitter melon, never toss it straight into the pan. Do these two steps first. This way, the bitter melon won't be overly bitter or harsh. It will turn out crisp, fresh green, and flavorful. Let's take a look. First, cut off both ends of the bitter melon with a knife. These ends are tough and bitter, and removing them makes the dish taste better. Next, slice the melon lengthwise to expose the white core and seeds inside. Use a small spoon to scrape out the core, running it from one end to the other to remove all the seeds and the inner white core. Don't skip this step. Most of the bitterness in bitter melon comes from this white pith, especially the thin white membrane near the walls of the melon. Check carefully to see if any membrane is still clinging to the flesh. The more thoroughly you scrape it out, the less bitter the melon will be. That white layer acts as an inner shield, carrying much of the bitterness compared to the flesh itself. Removing it can significantly reduce the overall bitterness. Now rinse the bitter melon under running water. Gently rub with your hands to remove any leftover pith or residue, especially the fine white fragments that may cling to the inner walls after scraping. The bumpy skin, with many small grooves that collect dirt, will also get cleaned under the pressure of the water jets. Rinse twice for a cleaner, more hygienic result. Place the cleaned bitter melon on a cutting board. Hold your knife at a 45-degree angle and slice it into pieces about 0.5 to 1 centimeter thick. Thicker slices help retain the crunch of the bitter melon, prevent it from turning mushy when soaked or stir-fried, and reduce the amount of bitter juice released, helping keep the bitter melon from getting mushy in the pan. Transfer the sliced melon into a large bowl. Add 1 or 2 tablespoons of sugar, depending on the amount of bitter melon. The exact measurement isn't critical, just enough to lightly coat each slice. Many people soak bitter melon with salt, but it easily absorbs all the saltiness, which makes seasoning tricky later. That method also quickly draws out too much water, leaving the melon limp and soggy with its crispness gone. Soaking with sugar, however, works differently. This method uses osmosis to draw out some of the bitter liquid inside without adding saltiness. It reduces bitterness while keeping the bitter melon's bright green color, crispness, and slight chew. After tossing the slices evenly with sugar, let them sit for 10 to 15 minutes until the sugar pulls out a small amount of liquid from the bitter melon. While the bitter melon is soaking, prepare some side ingredients to add more texture and flavor. First, prepare a red bell pepper. Remove the top stem. Then slice it in half. Cut each half into 3 to 4 pieces. Next, remove the seeds and the white ribs inside to make the slices look cleaner. Cut the bell pepper into evenly sized diamond-shaped pieces. The bright red color of the bell pepper will make the finished dish more vibrant. Once done, place the pepper pieces on a plate and set aside. Take a few cloves of garlic, smash them with the side of a knife, chop into small pieces. When sautéed, garlic helps balance the bitterness of the bitter melon and adds depth of flavor. Transfer the chopped garlic to a plate and set aside. Take a small piece of ginger, washed and peeled. Slice it thinly. Then cut into long strips. Finally, chop into small pieces. Adding ginger helps reduce the bitterness of bitter melon with its spiciness, giving the dish a milder taste. It also balances the cooling nature of bitter melon, creating a more neutral dish that doesn't feel too cold for the body. Place the chopped ginger on the same plate with the garlic. Grab a handful of green onions. Slice the white parts into small pieces. Add them to the plate with the ginger and garlic. Next, prepare a small bowl. Add 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, a pinch of seasoning powder, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Finally, add a tablespoon of cornstarch. The cornstarch will help thicken the sauce and coat the bitter melon better. Pour in 1 tablespoon of water. Mix well until the salt, sugar, and starch are fully dissolved with no lumps. Preparing the sauce ahead of time has several benefits. First, you don't have to rush to add each ingredient while cooking, which prevents overcooking or mixing up seasonings. Second, it allows all the flavors to blend together first, making the dish more balanced and preventing it from being too salty or too bland. Next, crack 3 fresh eggs into a bowl. Beat them quickly in one direction with chopsticks until the yolks and whites are completely combined, with no streaks of white left, forming a smooth and even mixture. This will make the scrambled eggs fluffier when cooked. By now, the bitter melon has been marinated. You'll notice a lot of bitter juice being drawn out at the bottom of the bowl. The slices will feel slightly softer and firmer. Add a little water to the bowl and gently stir to wash off any excess sugar on the surface. Don't spend too much time rinsing, or you'll lose its natural sweetness. Then, remove the bitter melon and place it in a basket to drain. Heat a pan on the stove. Lower the heat to medium. Add the drained slices of bitter melon and stir well. Use a spatula or chopsticks to gently toss the slices, slowly dry frying them until the excess liquid is released. This helps push out the remaining bitter juices, reducing the bitterness. It also makes the bitter melon drier, firmer, and chewier, instead of turning mushy. You'll notice the edges begin to wrinkle and darken slightly. This shriveled look is important. At this point, transfer the bitter melon to a large bowl and let it cool slightly. Next, pour in the beaten eggs and mix with chopsticks, coating each slice evenly. This makes sure the egg clings tightly to the bitter melon while stir-frying. Every slice will carry the fragrance of both egg and bitter melon. Now, heat some oil in the pan. Add the egg-coated bitter melon and let the egg mixture set slowly. Where are you watching from? Please leave a comment to let me know. Then, gently flip with a spatula and cook until the egg is fully done. It's nice to know that we see each other all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's great to see your support. When the egg mixture turns golden and the edges are slightly charred, the bitter melon will be coated in a golden layer. Remove from the pan and transfer to a large plate. This way, the soft texture of the egg stays intact. Add a little more oil to the pan and keep the heat on medium-low. Add the minced garlic, ginger, and scallions, and stir-fry quickly until fragrant. Then add the red bell pepper diamonds. Stir-fry for about a minute, just until they're slightly softened but still crisp. This keeps their crunch without making them soggy. Now, return the egg-coated bitter melon to the pan along with the bell peppers and toss everything together. Pour in the prepared sauce. Turn the heat to high and stir quickly so the sauce thickens slightly and coats every piece of bitter melon and bell pepper. Cook until the sauce is glossy and well absorbed. Turn off the heat. Finally, transfer everything to a serving plate and enjoy while hot. The result is a dish with wonderful texture, crisp yet tender bitter melon wrapped in golden egg. The aroma of egg blends beautifully with the subtle sweetness of the bitter melon, without any harsh bitterness, while the bell peppers add a fresh crunch to every bite. I used to stir-fry bitter melon until it turned mushy and unpleasantly bitter, or left it to cool until it was too harsh to eat. I always thought it was hard to enjoy. But this method not only removes the bitterness, it highlights its unique fragrance. Both kids and adults love it. It's irresistible and disappears from the plate in no time. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you find the video interesting, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your relatives and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.